Ugh, ugh, I am tired. I was able to successfully get the stove moved around and installed. But what's up, Zerk? What's up, Jackin? Welcome in. Hope the grind's been treating you too good. Uh, I don't think I have to change much of anything for 95. Hope Guilder is going well. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't started till right now. But that's been pretty good. At least I have the skin, which is what I'm pretty content about. I'm trying to figure out what what setup to do. Unfortunately, I don't know if it's just a me thing or Granblue Fantasy Guides, like the grids and teams aren't showing up for their setups. So does it get captured? Oh, I might get captured again today, we'll see. Oh shit, wait, what is this team? This team is the wrong team. I mean, it should be kind of okay. I just don't know if it'll two-turn it. You stay strong. I'll stay as strong as I can in my little 4 to 500 million lane. Ugh. I'm like so tired now. Luckily tomorrow is like should be a full break, so shouldn't have to do any heavy lifting. So I'm probably just gonna like brain dead potato on my like in gotcha on my bed. Ugh, this week's been saucy. Moved two fridges Sunday. Then yesterday should have been like a free day, but went to the storage, brought stuff from storage, which included the two Christmas trees, one of which is like I think it's like a 6.5, 7 foot one. So that one's got some weight to it. And then those little window AC units we had to put back for the recall. They had a little bit of weight to them too. And then I think the other team might be able to get this in like 3 turns tops, maybe. I don't know. I was kind of curious because apparently there's for 95 there was like a Omni OG and then 100 had a shield sword set up, but with GBF guide the grids aren't showing, so I don't know what they're using. Let me see. Is it this one? No, that was the scratching post one. Oh no, it was yeah, this. Oh, there it is. I was like, where is it? I think I need to put more skills on. I probably have to actually mist. And then I might have to make Megissa just use all of her buttons. We'll see. We'll see how it works. Probably to add some more buttons in. But yeah, I was curious about what the whatchamacallit, what the shield sword setup wanted, but can't see anything on the screen, so unfortunate. Even though I feel like most setups I'm not gonna be able to copy just from the sheer fact that a lot of them are gonna have units I don't have. Like Transcended 6 and whatchamacallit. Transcended 6, Sario, uh Valentine characters. Oh. Yeah, I think I'll have to like mist it and turn on a bunch of the other buttons. This is also gonna take like 4 turns at least, if not more. I don't want to use Fedio because I don't want it to click her field because I'm lazy. But Fedio would be really nice. Or just use Dark Angel, like you mentioned, or at least have a turn of not doing anything. Whether, well, no, yeah, because I feel like Olivia is better than Corello. Because Corello can't Ogi until he has like four of the fish. Uh, we'll do it for the 100. Because I'm only just going to clear the 100 once, and then we'll like fiddle around in the 95s until I get something I'm happy with. Uh, it might end up just being like Lich, Dark Angel, and Dava, maybe? Because Andala would give the extra charge bar needed for making sure the whole team off Ogi's off of Kenga. And the fire attack because I put off doing most of the farming while I waited for this. Actually, we have to even see if my team even kind of survives through this. I don't know what 100 has packing. Most of what I've seen has killed 100 before you can see any of the real mechanics. Took over the GBF. God, did you mention it? I guess something just broke it. Alright, yeah. So it wasn't just me. I thought maybe it was me, because sometimes Opera likes to be kind of weird and not load things that it should. But I guess like probably the links or something, or like the string of code on the other one is the issue. Yeah, that's why I think it's just the way they have the code for it is probably botched because it's just the grid part, right? Like the grid team side. The problem is the what is it? The Omnioji one has well, like not all of them have it, right? So the Shield Sword one I was curious about, which well ends up it's a Hades setup anyway. Doesn't have a video. Neither does the Viking one. But I'm pretty sure the Viking one uses like the main hand. Uh, oh, let's see what does this do. There's a 100 with the Bay. I haven't actively used the Bay outside of like the one tap that we were doing. Oh, so base and like the airish setup. I say I don't know if I can copy any of these setups. Almost all of the almost all of the grids for stuff that for content that are Magna have a bunch of the Mark IIs. So I don't think I'd be able to copy them. Couple things on the wiki fall into all having 156. Yeah, I was looking at the wiki a little bit earlier because of that. Because the guide one wasn't working. And yeah, I noticed that. I was like, I can't copy any of those. Honestly, 6 turns isn't terrible. Considering it took me like 5 turns for 95. 6 turns for 100 isn't bad. Alright. Uh, that's also what happens when I'm too lazy to make chains of falsehoods. Hmm. I don't actually know who's good to use. I also don't have. I don't feel like running her quest real quick. I should have done that earlier, but I was too busy dying after moving the stoves. The stoves themselves weren't heavy, but it's just like doing all that stuff 3 days in a row kind of killed my back. Well, my lower back. My lower back's probably gonna be hella fried tomorrow. Hmm. All of her buttons are turned on. All of your buttons are turned on. Miserable. Uh, Probably just give him. Just do that one for now. Because why not? If anything, I might have to swap out Bubs. Though I don't know. Actually, I think that'll be a DPS loss there. Mm. Yeah, I think right now, really, one of the things I'd say Grand Blue is kind of missing is kind of a like a mid range because it's kind of hard to do entire things from top to bottom. Game with like Twitter has at least like a somewhat feasible one. I'd have to figure out what to replace the T-Rex chick with because I don't have her. But they have one where it's like T-Rex girl, Ko, and then Cassius with 3 of the Celeste gloves. Like it's a pretty copyable build or grid, and I could just replace a couple of things. And it's for like 100, so. Takes 9 turns though for 100. Mine takes like 3 turns less. Yeah, so we could have done the 3 turns by turning all the buttons on. I was say, wait, did I spoke too soon? Did I speak too soon? But yeah, I'm sure we'll see like some stuff pop up like after today. Most of the people that make the content anyway are too busy grinding to take a break to make videos. Aside from when he just swiped it and was just like, "Yep, did you?" Yeah, that was a pretty funny throwback. There's probably gonna be a lot of people that don't even know where that character's from. They're like, "Who is that?" It's like, yeah, to be there. You had to have been there for when Shadowverse collabs actually gave us cool looking units. Not toddlers with credit cards. Bro, like realistically, like, could you imagine expensive trying to do a card game and those like card game animes where they've got all the holograms and shit? And like the stuff you put on your arms and stuff? I'm like, bro, dog. That shit would be expensive. I guess it'd probably be similar to no, it'd probably be worse than like buying a game console, right? Because card packs would be a more like constant buying thing. I just always thought it was funny that like the original Yu-Gi-Oh series kind of covered it a bit because you know filthy rich, Kaiba, Maximilian, but for the most part, like a lot of them don't really cover like the money that it would cost to play those games in the anime. Yeah, that was I saw that. And I definitely like had a. I was just like, oh shit, somebody remembers she's alive. Well, it's like it threw me for a loop with when I think it's the GPF guide or the wiki that had the cat girl from Princess Connect collab as a unit. Because anytime I ever see like usually the free collab units, especially for Dark, it's usually the Code Geass guy. I don't think I've seen anybody use any of the Princess Connect collab characters since both the elf and the or since the elf got like power crept out the wazoo. Never forget when she used to be like wins best buffer for a decent while, to be honest. She had a really good buff and she's dealt respectable damage. To be fair, the elf chick from the Shadowverse collab with Luna was also pretty good. back in when she came out. Her fairy mechanic was like pretty solid for longer fights. The part that's gonna bug me is I'm pretty sure that if I do like a mana diver setup, I might be able to do this faster. It might not take me less turns, but it'd probably be faster. But I'm too lazy to put it together. Like, who would I use? Obviously, I would use mana diver. I'd use Ilsa. I don't think I have any of the other like strong auto attackers though, because it would be like, I mean, I guess I could use Predator. Predator would still be pretty solid. I just don't know if she would survive without. I'd have to use Dark Angel for her no square ability. There was somebody in the crew that I'm in that used to call Dark Angel that was like, don't do anything ability, the no square ability, because he'd be like, no, don't touch me there. Every time he'd like, he'd do the no square thing. Whenever he'd use the ability. So whenever I say it, I always think about, it always comes to mind. I don't know why it doesn't come to mind when I do for like Percy. Like Percy's a shit button. Because it's basically even like that, but even more. Because Percy just doesn't let you deal damage at all whatsoever. Percy literally just like, stop. Can't touch this. When I'm close to the madness, how easy I get up from the But yeah, because I'm pretty sure Predator wouldn't survive. Yeah, I don't have. I think if I had the T-Rex girl, I'd be fine. I don't have the T-Rex girl, and I don't have Bowman, who are like the two really solid auto attackers, who luckily are also standard units. Well, Bowman's standard unit. I think the T-Rex girl seasonal or she's standard. I don't remember. I know she has a. I think there's like a seasonal summon with her. I have that one, but I don't remember if the character is seasonal or not. Tyra standard. Yeah, okay. I felt like that was the right thing. Salute. So yeah, I think like Dark is probably. I would argue that Dark, ironically enough, is like the one element where I think has like the most standard units that are just really good in like a multitude of situations, right? You have like Bowman and Tyra who are really good for beating things up. You have Bay, or not Bay, I mean you do have Bay because, well, let me break. But you have Albert, right, with his rework. You have Ko with his full limit break. Who else? Mm, summer character, summer character. Predator is still really solid, even though she's dropped a bit, but that's not because she's weak, that's just because power. Tsukiyomi's like really good and like batteries where you need a battery. Yeah, Albert's really good. I'm surprised that Albert's thing didn't kick him up in the ratings. They still have him at 9.5. I feel like he got a lot better with the little change they made. But then again, it's probably just a case of that it's because he's in dark. Cassius is still a pretty solid one. And he's an event SSR, so he's just doubly free. Uh, Dark Florence, I saw a couple setups using Dark Florence. Narmaya is still really solid if you don't have an attacker. I guess I could try using Narmaya. I haven't used Narmaya in a setup in forever. Tanya's really good in the dodge setups with the rat. Yeah, I think like Dark, I feel like is the one that has like the most where and standard you could just like you have a lot of characters that would be really solid in a lot of like situations as long as they're like excluding like Revens. Uh Light aside from Goblin Mage, who would I use? That's standard. Oh, there's Goblin Mage, there's Utsusumi. Uh Light Anne isn't bad, just depends on the fight. She's just really tanky. Mm, I don't know, they have a couple like they have like Light Albert in there, but I don't really think Light Albert's all that good anymore, personally. I really like they have Light Albert as a 9.6 in light, but then Dark Albert with his rebalance is a 9.5 in dark, even though he like out damages Beatrix, who's a 9.7. Um, I'm confused. I guess maybe there's like certain things Bay can do that make her better because she gets the unchallenged off her Ogi, so she can just tank shit without carrying for a while. Um, Wind, I think you just have like Noir, who's only really good for like bursting setups. And then like Mirren, who's good for Ogi. And I they have Randall, but I don't think I've seen anybody ever use Randall on anything for so long. And then Yakuza sister is she's pretty solid. I use there's Ariat. Ariat and Petra. But those are like old characters. I still think that they need to start, at least for like anniversary and holiday or something, giving away like pick tickets that let you choose like one character from the one of the two classical draw banners. Cause like they've done full limit breaks for like characters on those banners that are really solid. Like Arulu Maya, for instance, or like Earth Arulu Maya is after her uncap is still probably one of the best, if not the best, Earth buffer in the game. Like she's so good. But if you're a new player, like yeah, good luck getting her. Have fun. Which like just kind of feels bad. That's one of the main reasons I wasn't a really big fan of the classic draws. When they first announced it, I was like, that could either be really good or really bad, depending on how they do it. And to be honest, in my opinion, right now it's really bad how they're handling it. Like I really think they should like at the most like once a year, or at the least once a year. I'd say at the least once, then at most like twice a year. Give out like a pick ticket. Like you can do it one for each one, just split out throughout the year, right? Like one pick. You just let people have, it's just a thing where it's like, all right, you can either pick the like one of the characters off the banner or get I don't know like a gold moon or a Damascus bar or something. Probably a Dama bar or something. Yeah, for players who have everything, so that way they don't feel left out. Because I think most of those characters, like the old weapons, don't really get used at all. But like you would then let new players get the chance to grab old characters that are really solid with full limit breaks. Because there's like Petra, Ariat, Arulu Maya. Who else is in? Let's go to the classic draw. Let's see who's in classic draw who's like pretty solid. Let's see. Classic draw one. Agielba, however the fuck you say his name. It's probably one of the best like Siete characters for fire to use if you're not like super cracked out. That fucker's an absolute unit. Albert's in there, light Albert. He's kind of alright. Who else would be worth? Bay's in there, right? Because Bay's old as shit. So you know you're kind of up shit creek for a assaulted dark attacker there. Carmelina's uncapped made her really good. Can't get her out of unless you get classic draw. Uh, who else? Lena. Lena is still pretty solid for like harder content when your grid's still getting put together. The water idle potato who's gonna get an uncap this month, you know. If that uncap becomes really good, that's another classic draw character that, you know, new players kind of shit out of luck. Narmaya, Petra we mentioned. Mm. Societa, if you're like a new player who's like struggling to kill wellness, is like really good. The water one makes that fight like completely trivial. That's a classic draw one. Yeah, I thought so. Anne is in classic draw too. Anne is probably one of the best like standard water characters for like weaker grids. Uh, Chat Noir is like I unironically actually good now. Homie got a glow up. Water Izmir is like okay. He's a pretty solid water attacker. You don't have anybody. The wind hair potato is actually still pretty good for certain fights. Razia is really good for weak earth grids. Romeo. Razia, Romeo. I don't know if Rosamia is like I don't remember if Rosamia's uncapped made her actually like good for newer players or not. Tiamat, really good. That means Yugu's in here too, yeah. Tiamat and Yugu, two really solid characters for weaker grids. Vate is in there. Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of really solid like old characters that got either rebalances or uncaps or both that like new players are just not gonna have. Because like realistically speaking, I could never tell someone, even with the free pulls, like I'm just like the off chance of getting like something good for one of the newer standard characters, because even I'm still missing a good chunk of them. It's just like I just can't really be like, yeah, you should do that. It's like no, if you're like a team player, you just shouldn't pull off the classic draws. Not to mention, if you're a new player, you probably don't have the materials to pull them a break anyway. Maybe you would. I don't know the material situation for newer players nowadays. Back in my day, you be staring at that character for a solid month before you get uncommon. Uh, but yeah, I'll keep saying it till they do it. To be honest, I still think it was a bit of a mistake for them to stop doing like the pick tickets, like the special ones for at least like summer and stuff like that. Because like for new players, like those are just really good for getting them up and running. But yeah, this is where that system has kind of made it where Granblue being really good at giving really old characters a solid full limit break is not a good thing for like newer players. I don't know. It's either that or they should start like just giving classic draw tickets away. Like in not in a replacement capacity. Because that's always the mistake. Sometimes like they'll be like, "Oh, well, we're giving you classic draw tickets," and I'm sitting here like, "Bro, I could give two shits about classic draw tickets, dog. I want regular tickets." But if they started like I don't know, replacing like for instance in Guild Wars, right? They still give a lot of the SR weapons for the rewards. And I'm not talking about like the skill diamond ones. Like those are fine. But like the weird moon bow thing, like stuff like that. Why? Giving like one or two just so they give us the weird little like characters and stuff, sure, fine. But like there's I think they give you like what, three or four of them? Like you could replace like at least two of those with like classic draw tickets that people could just pile up and then spark for like the older characters. They would go a long way. For like for players who even have everything, it gives you like an extra chance of getting because I think you get the primals, right? Like Agni and stuff off the classic draw. And even then, like it just gives you more gold moons. Like it's just an overall win in my opinion. But at the end of the day, it doesn't really affect me all that much. I think I'm only really missing like a handful of characters from both of those that are currently full limit break. Like I don't have Petra. I think that's like the only one that really hurts me is not having Petra. Like, cause I don't have what is it, Yakuza Girl either. Like her wind version, I have her fire version, but the wind version, even with the uncap, was kind of whatever. Something one of the wiki grids with replacing six with Petra filling in summons with the that did not work well. Had to use revive potions to kill it. Yeah, a lot of those setups, it's just this the sheer strength of just six is crazy. You know, for a second I was like, wait, Petra's win. Is there a, I'm so tired that I questioned whether there was a dark version that I didn't know of or forgot about, which was completely plausible. But yeah, with Predator, yeah, no, Predator, like she deals damage, but she's not gonna survive enough to like keep going. And even then her damage just pales in comparison to a Transcended Six. You're just like you're gonna have a bad time. That's why I don't even attempt them. At least with this one, it's a case of I had been mentioning Petra, right? Because we were talking about like old characters, and not like the Bloodsheen moment where your autocorrect just let it slide through twice in the same sentence. I guess it'll be fine. He'll figure it out. Oh, that's funny. Mhm. Quite a lot of the two triggers at the end killed it. Yeah, yeah. That's why I was kind of mentioning that. I was like, I feel like if I ran, like, 'cause I was thinking like right, like Mana Diver, Ilsa, Predator, and then I'd have to run like Dark Angel because those like, because if you can Dark Angel, there's no ability. Like just before the last, I mean, you have to manual it, but like, just before the last two triggers, and then burst through at least like one of them to get close to the other one, you might be able to get through it without dying. But it'd still be pretty tight. That's a character I wonder when they're gonna get an uncap. I feel like Predator's kind of overdue for an uncap. That's true. No. Hurricane, hot America rain. Your shirt, kind of baggy on you, baby, but it works. Never face next to Barry. No, no, no. What the fuck would you fall through Barry? I don't know. Was meant to hear it nearest field before you hit full auto. To try to add more, but you missed it. I'm telling you, I'll say it again and again. Field skills should be full auto. Cannot change my mind. Saved you there because that summon was lined up to be hit him. True. Right. Still, Stamen stands. Just because you got skill and shit doesn't mean it invalidates the argument. I don't think I've ever used a death setup. Like in where you sack the character, right? I have mine like pretty much fully done, pretty sure. Yeah, because I have near. I was trying to remember which ones I don't have. I don't have Geisenberg. I don't have Geisenberg and Alanan still. Back in a second. I gotta go get the wipe. I forgot to give my dog his daily wipe down with his special coconut water wipes. I bum. He's like laying down, and I'm like, "Come here," and he's like, "Do I have to?" And it's like, "Get your ass over here." He's old, so he's even more lazy than he usually is. He's already lazy enough to begin with. It cracks me up though because he loves these things. Do not sit down. You need to stand up. Come on, come on. Yeah, I have to give him these wipe downs with them because he's like allergic to something in the yard here. And well, it doesn't like solve whatever he's allergic to. He's kind of looking at me like, "Why'd you stop?" It's definitely helps. I definitely notice the days I forget that he scratches more. I only just finished making death recently, so I only actually paid attention to recently. Gives team 4 turns of guaranteed triple in exchange for 4 turns. I thought it was 1 turn, like 1 or 2 turns. What the fuck? No wonder every Yachtama setup in existence uses that. I finished giving him his little wipe down, and now he's like, "What do you mean you're done?" Yeah, the nice thing is my dog hates like being bathed. I've been lackadaisical with that. Granted, he doesn't smell bad, but he smells like a dog. But now, since with the coconut water wipes, he smells predominantly like coconut water, which is a very pleasing smell. 4 turns? Jeez, Louise. That explains a lot. I have to actually try using it then. Cause you do what? Do that. Do you press anything for besides the is it only the field effect for near that you press when you sack her? I think I was going to click on her. One of the two manual teams up on the wiki has clicking her one before death as well. Does the one matter if she's like full limit break or not? It'd matter if it takes more than 3 turns to kill, because the full limit break extends the field from 3 turns to 6 turns. I see. That's a pretty hefty increase. In my shoes, I never saw God. You know, something I find relatively amusing is there was I think it was Limbus Company, where Limbus Company is, is oh no, it was Slinkster's videos for the gotchas for how long it takes to like level characters. Um, and I remember it being funny because he was just because they hit a point where it was like, oh, this would take months or this is whatever, and it was cracking me up because it's like in another gotcha game, there people would be like, that's ridiculous. Meanwhile, in like Tacticus, it's like, oh, that's just another Tuesday. Here, like because it's doing the the ranking up of you get all the different equipments that you have to farm from the stages, and then some of them require like combinations of items and stuff, and then you rank them up like that on top of like the shard ranking up. So basically, kind of like the Princess Connect system. And it was just like, but it takes a while because it's right now. I think the highest is well, I think they just increased the highest, but you could get up to like diamond, and then now it's like I think adamantium with a new update, and it's just like it's basically measured in like months. I just found it amusing. It was kind of it's because it's just one of those cases of like depending on the game you play, stuff like that kind of doesn't mean so much in some cases as it does in others. Speaking of, I don't know why I cannot explain why I have like the weird itch to like play Princess Connect again after so long. Because I used to play the JP version when I was prepping for the global version, and then I played the global version a decent little bit, and then it like the global version shut down, and then I was like, oh well, whatever. and I haven't had like I guess every once in a while it comes to mind like I remember the game exists, but then it's like it's never been the case of like now where I'm just like, man, I want to play the game. But it's just like I don't know why. It's just a weird like itch that I have. I think it's mostly because there isn't really another game, at least that I've found, because I've been looking around, that kind of fills the same niche. I will say I find that relatively interesting. At least in the Western market, most of the side games, gotcha games, are there's not a whole lot of like replacements for them. Like in the sense of like for instance, like Grand Blue Fantasy, there's obviously other games that have of the whatchamacallit. Like we have like an MC and they change classes, quote unquote, but it's like it's not to the same degree as like Grand Blue Fantasy is and stuff like that. I don't know, they have like really good spins on their stuff, and then there's just other stuff straight up that's just I can't find a competitor on the Western market at least. 15 of the boxes already. Sheesh. I think I've gotten like not very many. I think I've gotten like maybe two, at least from what I've noticed when I've accidentally clicked the OK instead of just the double back. But for the most part, I don't think I've gotten very many boxes. My luck for box drops isn't usually pretty good. I usually have a decent little shot with the with like the celestial weapon drops. Cause I don't know how many times I'll be like, man, I didn't get any, and then I'll look, and then it's like, oh, I got like three of them. Never mind. The worst part is that I think if I had, if I could have a way to like, make Ndala and Dao like Ogi again, like immediately after, I'd definitely make this 2 turns. This is why, like, I'm pretty sure I could probably get something that does it in 2 turns, or at the very least, I could probably put something together that does it in 3 turns, but just faster. But then I also I'm just kind of like, oh, I'll leave that for like tomorrow or something. Maybe the video pops up. Crap, I did not mean to click that button. Maybe the video pops up for it. I'll try to copy a setup or something. Oh, speaking of, I still have not. I need to figure. I need to find a time to go get at least gold in the new TFT set. I have no idea what happened to me in TFT. I was so gung ho about it, and to be fair, the last set didn't really burn me out. I had the bit of the struggle to finish getting the diamond, but I was still like relatively content with it. And then like this set came out, and I don't know if it just there's too many things that like caught my attention that I want to do that I look at that set and I go meh. Even though I've heard for all intents and purposes it's pretty good. It's just mm. Also, I still find it really weird that like Warhammer 40K Tacticus lets you has like ads. All right, new season starts in 6 hours. Uh, has ads to like refresh shops and get like a stamina refresh, but you don't get them to use the PC client. They're only on the mobile client, and I find that interesting. Wait, how many Corodius ones do I need? Because speaking of, I might just refresh the shop. Oh, I'm definitely refreshing the shop. Shit. I'll do that later. Because it means that, yeah, it means I'll have him unlocked for when his day comes around, and then I can get 100 shards. Shit, do I want to do the 120 for that though? Decisions, decisions. I'm at the math out everything else. Gotta do another spreadsheet. Yep, baby. Love me some spreadsheets. I guess I could do the math now. No, because I have to pull up a picture. Dice Smasher's video for 100 is interesting. Oh, interesting how? Anadiver, Magissa, Hecate, and Tyra. Oh yeah, I can't copy that either. I have Magissa, I don't have the other two. I've seen I think I saw one of the things on the Twitter. I think there's one that showed Magissa just because she brings the extra skill damage with the crest. But I don't think I've seen one that does Hecate alongside her. Or Hecate at all, really. Dude, what you got, Side Smasher? Always has like interesting stuff. I always like Side Smasher's videos because he's got like the write-ups. 000 with Celeste, Sagacity, Opus. Putting that skill damage to work. Push as much skill counter damage out. Okay, this turn one. It's just for cleanup. Oh, so they use Koku, sack her, pull in to get the turns of Guaranteed triple. I still want Tyra at some point. And just the fact that her model has her. We can't get fucking Odin on his horse. And we can't get other characters who ride horses, but we can sure as fuck get Tyra on her fucking T Rex. Oh, I love it. That's funny. He's every single one of those triggers towards the back end, huh? Interesting. Anybody didn't pay attention to MC's house to head down to one or not from the full over? I don't think they did. Oh my god, I forgot to turn that stupid fucking thing off when I installed this computer. No, they're 14,000 HP. How the fuck did I turn that off again? For some weird reason, they decided to add this stupid hotkey that for Opera GX that when you fucking hit Control Shift and R, which isn't something you hit very often, but you can hit it by accident if you're used to using the keyboard shortcuts for tabs and control because Control Shift T is to reopen a tab you closed. And for some stupid reasons, they thought that it was a good idea to just make that like a default key button that's turned on and not just give it. So every time I pop like hit it once in a while, basically whenever you fucking watch a video, it just has moist criticals like woo fucking clip pop up for no fucking reason. I'm sorry, it's just like lots of cussing, but it's like I have a headache, and then that just like surprised me because I turned it off on the other computer. But uh, but it's such a stupid feature that nobody fucking asked for, and they just in as like a default keybind. Which there's plenty of like not default keybinds that make more sense. Like oh I don't know, Force Dark Pages doesn't have a default keybind. But nah, hey guys, we can have moist critical pop up and scream at you every time you try to toggle mute tab doesn't have a default keybind. Like, jeez Louise. Like, who the hell thought it was a good idea to give that a default keybind? There we go. Not have to worry about that being a problem. God, that caught me off guard. Caught me off guard. I've been nursing a migraine for like the past like week. Ugh. Alright, what was that? Besides losing my mind. Lost in the grinding sauce. We'll take stock at like 2 hours to see how we're doing with resources. Hmm? Got any celestial drops yet? I haven't checked. I could look after this run. I don't think so. Because usually I get like anywhere from like one. I think the most I've gotten in one run is like three. But that was when I was like slamming the crap out of Nightmare 90s. But I don't know. I just can't, I do the back thing, so I don't pay attention to what drops. None so far. Oh, that's rough. I swear sometimes like they turn down the drop rate on those. Because there's definitely been some guild wars that I and other people I know like don't get any, and then some guild wars where like we all get walk out with like two or three. Oh, I thought I don't think I've gotten one to drop. No, I haven't gotten it. Oh wait, turn that off. Forgot that I had the series on. No, but apparently I got a staff to drop, like just a regular staff. I definitely didn't have the 5 soul staff just sitting there. This was definitely the last weapon I got. So I got a revenant weapon. Wipes here. Because I can use it when I full limit break fun food 30 years from now. Nikki, thank you for the like. Hope your week's going well. We're over here like, where are the celestial weapons at? Meanwhile, one of the guys with the little like lever switch and headquarters is like, yeah, we're turning that off for this. With the way people are gonna be grinding for this one. Nope. Yeah, I will say though that normally, at least for me personally, I don't think I usually get celestial weapons to drop until like the second to last time. Granted, I really don't grind that much compared to other people. So that's why usually I'm like surprised Pikachu face when I open my inventory and I see like one or two in there. Imagine me. I was really surprised the one time I looked and there was like four of them in there once, three or four of them in there. I was like, what the hell? I was like, shit, I'm breaking game. I was like, where did these come? I think I accidentally stole something from somebody. Because it's just like I'm definitely well. To be honest, I don't know. Oh, also by the way, the lyric we're last I looked, we're winning in tier A. My grinders are still grinding away. I'm telling you, I think between Sario, the new skin, the fucking and it's Dark Guild Wars, the dark whales who are in my crew finally woke up, remembered this game existed, and they're like, we're here. So I think last I looked, we were winning by like 100 mil or something. But it's just like I don't know. I don't know if like 4 to 500 mil is like it's definitely casual, but I don't know what level of casual that is. It's definitely not filthy casual. Filthy casual is where you just do reach like the bare minimum every day in case your crew loses, which is what like a mil or something. Honors like it's not that much, but it's definitely not like try hard. So that's why I like never expect to get celestial drops because I remember before they added the celestial weapons, they were just like, yeah, you can get revenant weapon drops from Guild Wars. I'd never gotten any until the celestial weapon line. Because I've gotten a couple. That Fun Fizz staff isn't like the first one. But it's just like, I never believed it. I was like, that's a myth. I've never seen one drop. But it's just like, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, because some of us struggle for a drops, then there's other people that like they got more sands than well, I can't say then they know what to do with because pretty sure Zillyrig needs plenty of sands at the moment. But still, I digress. It's got too many. Pushing 100 included debuffs at 50, so Magus didn't lose her cast. The fact that that's not an undispellable debuff, even though it disappears after she dies, annoys me. In all honesty, like, annoys me. Like, there's just certain shit that, like, in this game they do sometimes, and that's one of them. That just pisses me off. Like, why is that not an undispellable debuff? Why is Wellness's guaranteed triple not a unique undispellable buff? Like, the damn thing's one turn, you can't extend it. Like, what? What? Meanwhile, then they'll give like other characters, like, cause like Anira was like one of the worst buffers for the longest time because her team wide buff was dispellable. And when they started introducing a bunch of dispellable wind bosses, it was like, well, we can't take an arrow because anytime her buff goes up, it just instantly gets deleted. And then they made that an undispellable buff. Like, that's just, there's just sometimes where I'm like, what are you guys doing? But yeah, I could kind of understand if it was a case of like, oh, well, she can toss it out there, and then if she dies, it still stays on. But that's not how that works. Like, I feel like it has enough, like, drawbacks that you could make it an undispellable debuff. And you wouldn't be breaking anything. I mean, there probably would be some weird interactions here and there. You debuff on 3 is this undispellable. Says the enemy needs X amount of debuffs or it auto casts 1. Still. Still. Make them all undispellable. No, yeah. Is it? I could have sworn there was. What? Isn't. I think it was different. Is it a. No, I think it's a good. See what? I don't know anymore. My brain said that. I don't even know what game it is. I don't know what year is this. Do we have flying cards? Why did that go to pending battles? I'm confused. Is there enough undispellable debuffs in the game for so that you could put it up and like wouldn't have to worry about that? I feel like there is. It's just it's spread out across all the elements. I will say that I will die on the hill that Willness's like triple attack buff should be a unique undispellable buff. I swear if they do give him like a full limit break and they don't make that change with his Ogi, I might actually riot. Not 10 of them in dark, as far as I'm aware. I think. No, Death Sentence is dispellable. I was kind of curious if Death Sentence wasn't dispellable. Wolf, wellness will limit ring. I used to not multi-attack until he sees, and now he's just always. Yeah, it's like they flip it, right? It's like he always triples, and then when he ogies, his next thing is a single like drop kick instead. That'd be funny. I will say all I know is that if they don't make his Ogi buff undispellable, and I guess probably make it like a I don't actually think they would ever make it 2 turns because the problem is that if you make it 2 turns, you then allow it to be you'd have to give it the caveat of can't be extended. Because I think they've done that a couple times, right? Where there's a couple skills that are longer than 1 turn, but specify they can't be extended. Because the issue is you have like the buff extensions, and Wellness being able to triple attack like every turn is a little ridiculous. Especially because with full limit break, he needs to have like full limit break numbers. And his like current numbers are kind of gross as it is. So actually, I am curious, like, because realistically, all the 6 dragons are still relatively potent in their own right. I think the weaker ones are Wamdus, Ewiar. Lua, I think it kind of just depends on the fight, but Galleon, Wilness, Fediel are still incredibly strong in their elements. So like I wouldn't even know where they would like begin to make those kits I like to be honest, those 3 for me fall in the Percy range of like how do you full limit break that without making that even like absurdly broken? He'll shield 20k. Make it 20k and it no longer needs the fatal chain to reset. It just resets on special. Like when the enemy does a special attack, it just auto casts her shield. Easy, no problems. No. Bro, imagine if Galleon just they just got rid of the fact that she just won't attack every other turn, and she just has like gives herself a damage like assassin like every turn, and she just slams things. Yeah, no, I don't even. Yeah, no. I feel like those three in particular would probably be like three of the last six dragons to get full limit breaks just because how strong they are. Like when you consider how old Wellness is, and he's not even fully power crept, because like Zeta's like better, but you can still do a lot of stuff with Wellness. Because Wellness is borderline unkillable in most content, and he just shits out damage. Either the giant slap or throwing an island. Fuck the slap, bro. If they don't let us throw an island with Galleon, Galleon needs to be able to throw an island. Whatchamacallit? Wellness needs to drop kick somebody. What else? I don't know what Fediel would do. Whammus just needs to eat the person. I don't care how they animate it, just make him eat it. Eat the boss that you're fighting. Yeah. I guess that's like wait, that's part of I think that's part of the reason why well I can't necessarily agree with how so many of the current strong characters are seasonal. Uh I'm also kind of like I don't really think it's that big of a deal just from the sheer fact that it's like Galleon, Wellness, Lich, Fediel, uh Percy, Zeta, Gabriel, Europa, Uriel, Dirt, Olivia, Nahan, Lucio, Sarah, Sandalphon. Like, there's still a lot of like grand characters that are available all year round that are really strong. Like, obviously, if you're really top end with wanting to be able to push through like Hexa and all that and be ready for Red Lady, like, and doing like racing with Guild Wars, you want all the really strong characters. Even though if we look at a lot of the setups right now, people are using it's like Tyra fully transcended six, full limit break in the air for shenanigans. Like I've seen a couple Sariel setups, but not too many, or like not enough to eclipse like the other ones, right? Like I've seen plenty of with and without. Like after looking through some of the like the Twitter stuff that popped up, and then some I had a couple videos pop up after watching the wind one. Yeah, I think that's like one of the reasons why. Well, I understand people's frustrations about the whole seasonal thing. I also don't think it's like as bad as people think it is. And I mean, we just got Sariel, who's incredibly strong for most content in the game, honestly. Which also probably just means that either Halloween or Holiday is about to get something absurdly broken, more than likely. Because like realistically, it's for Fire specifically, I think the only seasonal character for DPS that outslams Zeta or Wellness is Holiday Wampus. Yukata Aglavale is like strong, but I think he's like in their power range. He's not much higher, in my opinion. He just feels like a better Summer Kambira because he's not slowly murdering himself while doing skill damage. That's something I'd like to see a rework for, or like a rebalance. Summer Kambira. For a character who kind of like whittles away at her own HP like Summer Magus does, though you can control it, she doesn't deal enough damage to keep up nowadays. Halloween member for like Unga Bunga gives team wide turn long assassin just power creep Florence. Like, we saw people didn't like that we were power creeping regular things with seasonal stuff, so we're just gonna power creep a seasonal thing in its own season in the same element with something new. Honestly, I think they'd get less backlash for that than other things. Because at least you go, sure, I guess I'll just see what's gonna replace my Halloween unit. I still need to use Halloween. I find it amusing that the only two Halloween characters I have are both Halloween dirt characters. One of which I got like after they got power crept to hell, which was Halloween Zeta and Vasaraga. And then the other one I actually got some pretty good use for Diaspora on like backup requests, which is the Pew Pew sister. I got her Halloween version. Kukri or something like that. I forget. I don't know pronounce her name. She was really good. She helped me a lot early on when I was trying to do like backup requests for Diaspora. I see that and all I want to read it as is like kuru kuru, the fucking spinny meme from Star Rail. But yeah, that chick. Yeah, I got her Halloween version. That was one of the ones where it was again when they gave us like YOLO pulls one Halloween, and I like just got her this one puller, the daily pulls, and I was like, oh, cool. Her I actually used though, because her she was pretty. I think for a while she was like my strongest dirt attacker, because she deals a lot of damage, or at least used to. She's kind of fallen off a bit now, because I'm not sure I'd use her over Like even just like Sadala, Galleon, stuff like that. I guess in a case where I need like a shit ton of skill damage. Because she can provide a lot with her kit like in a short amount of time. Shit. Just restart. That's not good. Messed up the placement. Yeah. I think I should probably replace Ndala with something. But the problem is that Ndala's giving the charge bar that's allowing for the whole team to Ogi turn one when we're not in strike time. That's a fucking. Seems like the Space Marine handshake email has disappeared. Yeah, I'm assuming it was the same case as like the Spirit Eel, where it was like a limited time. Snake, you still hear that? Yeah. Yeah, I imagine that one will be another one where it's like in a couple months it'll probably go like I think the Spirit Eel one was like 3 months, I think is what it was. Oh, it seems there was like an actual Twitch drop that would let you get a handshake emote for Space Marine 2 also, which is probably why that emote existed. Yeehaw, brother. What's up, Slickster? How's work? Are you keeping up with PoE 2 with the new season, or have you dipped out? 3 YouTube videos on the way? My man is churning up the stuff. Nice. Yeah, PoE is a game I wish I could like wasn't extremely dumb. I'd love to. It's definitely a video that I would like the type of game I'd make content for, but I'm just too stupid. I am too how to do. One's done, the other one's halfway. Third will be a build diary. Also married. Nah, thanks to you, big brain. Oh, wait, crap, I didn't want to use. I think Gita. Oh, shit, that almost killed. You can touch on that topic a bit in the second video. Just can't be bothered to learn math. This is it's like, I don't know if you can say that after you literally dropped not one but two videos of gotcha math. Done any above algebra level math? Almost 20 years. Is this addition and multiplication? That's more math than the rest of us got. Some others easy one did pretty well. Yeah, it's I feel like more so than Woo. I feel like Zenless has a decent amount of people that also like they kind of care a little bit more for the math, for mathing things out. At least that's the feel I got from the community is when I used to play both pretty often. I'm running out of Blackstone. Mm-hmm. And Woo is just like echoes go burr. Also a bit more annoying. Yeah, true. I mean, what you get, it comes with the package. Mhm. Oh shit, I forgot to move him. Oh. 5 comments that are like, I finished before the character came out. You know, they could be talking about a different type of, just saying. maybe we're not talking about the same type of finishing. You know, food for thought. Food for thought. I'm just saying. I've seen those Reddit posts. A little wild over there. I'm like, y'all need to simmer down. God. I need to start doing my dailies on Zenless though. Get ready for Octopus Lady so I can beat things with an ice hammer. What are we sitting at? 5.6K. Almost at 200 mil. Should be able to hit 200 mil with another like hour or so. Some errors and compare the two games. The comparisons one can be kind of rocky because even if like people just get dumb protective of the games. But realistically, yeah, a lot of those games, the general formula for getting characters is very samey. Less than a day difference. Yeah, which is in the long run, like not really that big of a difference. I just thank you for your pennies. Thank you for your patronage, Slankster. I appreciate it. Seven is wild. Oh. Oh, you're kidding me. My dog has had to scratch himself so much that he now knows how to do it like laying down without without having to move too much. This lazy bum. Anything he's got to do to move less, he'll do it. Thank you for your 1 penny from 7 ads patronage, Slinkster. I appreciate it. I'll remember the next time I buy a video game. I'll be like, this one, Slinkster paid for it for 7 ads. This is the one. Like, it's why every like 7 to 8 months I can keep my savings account from going down a little slower. You're not capturing me this time. Oh, that delay, that little like that little taking a little longer to load than it should have got some heart palpitations going. I would not have liked to have to eat my words that quickly. I'm just like, ha, no capture for you. Game was like, maybe, maybe. Never say never. It annoys me that I have to go make like another batch of chunks for the other soon because I forget that when you copy and paste it over, it affects the origin. Twitch freaked out where you needed to rush after redeeming that. Good, because Twitch sensed your malicious intent behind it, and it was like, save the bear, code bear. Yeah, I am debating about just recording. Well, I don't know. I don't know if this would work because I have Indala in there. I guess if I found a setup where I didn't have Indala, I'd probably wouldn't mind recording like a small video for like Guild Wars and just toss it up for people who don't have all the cracked out shit. Because there was a couple content creators we had found that were kind of more like in our power scaling that I haven't seen them put content out for a while, unfortunately. And because of the way the Hexa stuff, like the Hexa Dragon upgrades, and like the Opus and all that stuff works out, it's kind of hard for people who make content that are further ahead to be like, oh yeah, no, we can make, this from back here. Because they can't like undo the upgrade. Like 300 ideas for videos. I'm gonna pump that shit for a while. For PoE2 or just like in general, like just stuff you've been doing? It's in general. That's good. Always nice to get the creative juices flowing. It's been quite a few for a long time. Now that I'm actually doing it, feels good. Usually how it goes. All right, it's like to good luck with work. Four. Definitely won't have enough stamina for it though. Yeah, we'll go for even though I'm like in that weird half dead but not half dead state. So we'll go for like the 3 hour and then call it good from there. Oh shit, allergy medicine is hitting him hard now. He's a little wobbly. Here in the dark, in these final hours. I feel the power. Of course, none of the material I need to grind is in a mission that I can do what I need to get done. This punk just nudged me to be like, hey, what are you doing? Give it a scritches. Also, I've been like slowly working away at the sky scale stuff, like off stream a little bit. And I've gotten one achievement basically done. I'm working on the other achievement, and then there's like a third one that's gonna take a while because I need an extra material that I can't get very much of. These final hours. Should double check if I have all of all this stuff. I feel like I'm at a like the threshold here is like if I do some change in the grid or something, I feel like I'd get the last like couple percents where we can shave off that little bit of that last turn. Yeah. I don't know what it is. Like, I wish I knew what he was allergic to. Mm. Wait, wait. Oh, actually, I could still do. Oh, maybe if I swap in Summer Magissa, it wouldn't help me for the whole like make a video thing. But I feel like if I do Summer Magissa, because it'll reset the skill damage cooldown, and then it resets every time she Ogies her skill one. I think I might be able to cut that other turn off. It'll be more. Well, I mean, yeah, no, I don't actually know if we hit. But no, because Indala still does like 4 button hits. I just don't know if it'll be enough to make up the difference. I don't know. I guess we can try it. Yeah, because Zendala still does 4. It's just I don't know if the damage would be the same. Like if anything, it might actually make it worse. But since it's just a quick swap, it's not like that big of a deal. I still think her holiday skin is probably like my favorite version of Megasa, which makes me sad that I don't have it. We don't have to dance, we don't have to smile, we don't have to make friends. Because we also get like the slight damage increase from the crest for skill damage, so it'll help with like lich and stuff. Yeah, but she doesn't do enough. All right, I do need to. Okay, I need to swap the order. I need to put lich last, and then she'll. Okay. I still think it's like 3 turns, but I think it's like faster because we don't have to wait for Ndala's to caster skills. So I definitely think it's better. Ah, the day when Summer Magissa shines. Oh, well, I guess to make it fit, I was about to be like, if only I had a Summer Lich costume. If only. If only I had a Summer Lich costume to have a full summer lineup. And then I forget that I do. Looking, perceiving, sneezing. What's up, Zephy? How goes your hidden woowa agenda? Also, Zephy, when are you gonna play Limbus Company? I need somebody else who understands the pains of the things I'm going through. Suffer on your lonesome. You're so unsupportive. I thought we were friends. Zephyr. I can't believe you would do this to me. Doing great exploration progress has been crazy production because of the flying. Oh, right, because you can fly in like all the zones now, right? Is there anything special for that, or can you just, as long as you can fly, like you have it unlocked, you can fly anywhere? Do the fast tutorial with some full money at the end, and boom, you're free bird. Oh, I was about to say, well, maybe it's time for Woowa to come back on the menu, and then I'm like, no, I'm good. I just remember how much time it takes me to like farm all of my current gotchas, and I'm like, I'm chilling. And I still like have to do Zenless, so I can make sure I have enough stuff for Oh yeah, I forget that Magissa's thing is like RNG on when she's gonna be helpful. Sometimes it gives charge bar, sometimes it doesn't. Slink's video, you'd see who doesn't take that. Yeah, you see, but the problem is with Slink's video is I play a game where it's normal for the amount of time it takes to progress a character is measured in months. You know? So I don't have time to be adding other games into the mix. No, the thing is, make sure I have enough pulls. I have, I think, like 60 tickets and like another, like I know it's over 10,000 of the chromatic thingamajigs, and I've been hopping on to buy like the monthly stuff from the shop with what I have left over. Because I don't trust my 50-50 chances. It is very common for them to betray me. Honestly, yeah, no, like I don't know what it is. I can't play. I'm not a. I don't know. I guess I just like turn-based stuff too much. Or at the very least, no. I think I know what it is. Basically, if I play a gotcha game, it has to be. It has to have something that makes it so when I'm busy and have shit to do, that I can still kind of grind stuff on the side. I mean, I say this, but then Limbus Company doesn't really have anything like that because you can't. There's no like auto. There, like not in the sense of like this where this is going off while I'm doing other things. Limbus Company has like two buttons you can click on the side that'll just let the game make decisions for you, i.e., win rate and damage. Take your pick. Oh, wait, how are we doing? All right, so they slimmed it down. We're only 30 mil in the lead now. We were winning earlier, so whoever on their side that's doing it like woke up. Also, there's like three of us now that at least have the costume turned on. Also, in the other guild wars in the other game, we're losing. We're kind of getting beaten up. I don't know why I clicked that. Mm. Yeah, I'm in one of those weird things where there's like so many games I want to play at the same time. Like I'm doing Grand Blue Guild Wars, which will at least like when this is done, that'll get put back on the back burner. But then there's like Tacticus, Limbus Company. I need to squeeze in at least doing the dailies for Zenless, which honestly doesn't take too long. It's just I have to is whatever I have to like my stamina is like overfilled, so it's at a point where I have to like actually do content to be able to do my dailies because it won't let me drink the coffee, which annoys me. Like I wish they would just let us like let it be like, are you sure? Like you won't be able to get stamina. I'd be like, yeah, sure. Don't give a fuck. So I have to actually do content. Ugh, disgusting. And but then I also want to play more Last Epoch because I kind of want to keep playing that Flay build. And then I want to play. I'm like slowly plinking away at Guild Wars. And then I'm really looking forward to playing Lords of the Fallen next week into the Space Marine 1 and 2. It's just, and then on top of that, I need to actually like, I've been saying this for like 2 years now. I need to get like my life together, So there's a lot of shit going on. Just casually ignoring that last part because I shouldn't be because, but it's what it is. Don't worry about it. Don't look at me. Some of the grinds, perma drop, double rewards, you burn through 247 of them bounce. Yeah, yeah, I don't know. It's just like I don't mind actively playing something, but when like the daily grind requires you to actively participate, it gets kind of grating after a while. Like Tacticus right now has an event where I have to manually play the game, and it takes a while. Because when you're not manually playing the game, you can just run raid tickets, which just skips through the campaign missions that you're farming, so you don't have to actually do it yourself, which is nice. And then you can just manual a couple other things, and usually I can get it done. I don't know, like 45 minutes, an hour tops. But currently, there's an event that I have to manually play it, so that takes a while. Oh shit! I didn't expect them to kill her. That's a problem. But yeah, but I got into like Limbus Company and like Tacticus at pretty much the same time. Well, not pretty much the same time. Like Tacticus, I think I'm at like the 2 month mark, maybe a little longer than that. Limbus Company, I think is I'm just now reaching the like 1 month of playing. Crap. Okay, nice. Limbus Company has been pretty fun. It's just like it's just kind of aggravating with the whole again how they're handling the event thing, where like you just don't have access to any of the event like dungeons to be able to, you know, if I only have like 30 minutes to do something, well that's too damn bad because the only way I can get it is by story stages. And I had been stuck on a stage for the last like 3 days, so then the only way I was able to get event currency was running Mirror Dungeon, but Mirror Dungeon usually takes like an hour and a half to 2 hours for me. It's like I'm slowly getting faster at it as I like learn what to build and get like stronger characters. But it still takes like a bit. You know, it's not the same as if you just drop into a stage, do the stage, and then like carry on. Like for time consumption. That's why I'm hoping that the Arc Knights collab event is handled differently. Something tells me it's not going to be handled differently and it's going to be a shit show because everybody's going to be mad about it. But we can hope. Not too hard, just a little too fast. In my heart, and I know that I have. I think this team's just faster by the virtue of I don't have to wait for so many skills to go off with Ndala. I don't know. Whatever gives me an excuse to be able to use like whatever lineup lets me use Summer Magissa is a good lineup. Mercy is my mother. Something that would resonate. Oh, but yeah, we got too many things on the grind right now. And then like the other issue is that like what is it? My mom wants me to start taking classes again, at least like one or two here and there, and I should, like realistically I should. There's no real detriment to it. We can afford like me taking a class or two here and there throughout. The main caveat is like I don't know if I want to deal with like homeworks and tests again. Which to be fair, that shouldn't be a caveat at all whatsoever. But it's kind of just one of those like I haven't had to deal with that shit for like 10 years. I don't know if I want to start dealing with it again. I hated homework. Like tests, I didn't really mind. Homework, I hate homework the most. Homework is the devil. Say it louder than the kids in the back. Homework is the devil. It's the devil's paper. I still remember when I was getting my associate's degree, I was taking a class and I was like acing every test, like everything. Every project was an A, every test was an A. And I went to go check my grade when it came towards the end of the semester and I had like a D. And I was like, oh. And I checked the my grades and I realized that I had kept forgetting to do any of the homework assignments because they were on the like online and our instructor didn't really like remind us of it ever. They just expected us to know, which to be fair, he told us at the beginning, and it was like homework was worth like 60% of your grade. I went over. It still cracks me up to this day because I went over to the class like the day after, and I was like, "So, teach." He's like, "Yeah, what's up? I'm failing a class." He was like, "Huh?" You know something's up when even the instructor is like, "The fuck you mean you failing my class?" And so he looks and he's like, "Ah, that's what happened." And so I had like an hour, like because I went to like they have this like hour and a half break in the middle of the day, and that's when I went to go talk to him about it. And he's like, "All right, you have an hour and a half. I'm opening all of your homeworks. If you can, whatever you get done is what you get done, and and it was like automatic grading. So like in like 45 minutes, it didn't even take me that long. It took me like 30, 45 minutes to get through. I think it was like 15 homework assignments. I just like blitzed through them. went from a failing grade to I think it was like a 95. This is why you gotta remember, kids. Look at your percentage breakpoint. Might come to bite you in the ass if you don't. The opposite, do so good on homework and then eat apps. Booty cheeks on test. That was me with algebra one. But that's because my pre-algebra teacher was absolutely horrendous. Nothing more exciting than learning pre-algebra from a dyslexic instructor. Nothing wrong against people with dyslexia. I just probably shouldn't choose to teach math because the sheer amount of like times we would do a test that like in my class I had an honor student and she would fail the test and we'd be like, "Oh, we're fucked." Like if she got an F, we are screwed. And then he would look and he would be going over the like cuz he would always do reviews, which was more than likely something that came up because, his dyslexia would cause issues. And he would go over it and I remember I don't know how many times we'd be going over the test and he'd be looking at the answer key cuz it was all Scantron. And he'd be like, "That's not the right answer." And we were like, told you so. Told you that was wrong. Told you I got that question right. I ain't dumb." Like, it completely just messed with my entire capability to learn algebra. And, like, my Algebra 1 teacher, bless his heart, he would let me retake every exam, basically. Every time I failed an exam, he would let me come in. And, well, it was also really weird because he would do all of his exams on paper or on the computer. I'm terrible at taking exams on the computer. I cannot tell you why. So don't even ask me why. Something about it my brain doesn't get. So he would print out the test and give it to me on paper, and I would take it again, like after class, and I would like ace the test that way. And he's like, "I don't know what's wrong with you." I was like, "I don't fucking either." Problem is, every now and again, professor would release one assignment, and I'd look at my grade and go, "Yeah, I'm not doing that. I can tank it." That's your first mistake. That's your first mistake. As someone who's like extremely lazy with stuff, I do my best not to like tank it when it comes to assignments. I'd just be like, "Oh, I really should do that." Sometimes I'll like speed do it like an hour before it's due, and then just be like, "What I get, what I get." Because the problem is, this is something my mom always like harped on, which is 100% true. A 20 is easier to like come back from than a 0 in grading because of how averages work. So like even if you just like speed throw some shit together and get like 10 points, that's still better than just letting it be a 0. Cause math. Which is also why I get really mad because there's one time I failed the class by like 2 points because it was a weightlifting class. Like it was supposed to be an easy A. And everybody but one person failed that semester because we had a class where he canceled it. And the way it always worked is that we would have the class and then he would open the homework the day like after class and we would have until the next week to do it because the questions are based off of what he was teaching us. We had one day where he canceled and nowhere in the email did it say whether or not the assignment was going to be open. And we all and he didn't even say anything about like study the material, nothing like that. And we were just like, "Oh, I guess, He was like, we'll go over the stuff next week with like that week's like extra information. Like, right, he didn't say anything about, looking the stuff ahead of time. He the problem was that the homework assignment thing is again online and it's automated. So it automatically opened and then closed the week after. And the only person who got any points from that was the one guy who just randomly decided to look and saw that it was due in like 30 minutes. And we were just like, are you going to do anything about that? And the guy's like, no. Like, why should I? It was your responsibility. It's because you canceled class. You canceled class and said we were going to go over this. Like, oh my God. We tried to get it like overturned and we just couldn't. It was such a pain. And like literally all of us like we didn't get a passing grade by like a couple points. Oh, it sucked. I was not happy. One thing is failing because it's my fault. One thing is failing because it's somebody else's fault. Which I mean, you could argue that it's still technically like our fault because you could always just double check, but it's just aggravating. Aggravation. Frustration rising. Say 30, 40, 120. Yeah, if I just buy two and then do okay, get him to gold. Alright. Unlike last time we were able to, well, actually no, it took about the same amount. I just finished doing my grinding for the other one. I'm not gonna lie, it's been a bit of a wake up call to play some of these other gacha games where I have to remember where stamina management is a thing, right? Where I have to like log in every couple hours so stamina doesn't overflow because not all of them. Uh, I almost tried to relaunch OBS. That was about to be a problem. Uh, cause yeah, cause you don't get a lot of like resources. Like your resource is the stamina. It's been a bit of a wake up call. My routine when I wake up in the is I'm not addicted, but my routine in the morning is I wake up. Well, it depends. If my dog wakes me up early, then I take him out and then I go back to bed, and then I wait for my alarm to go off. But then when my alarm goes off, I wake up and the first thing I do is I open Limbus Company on my phone, turn some of the stamina into the other material so it's not capped anymore, and then I go to Tacticus and I do like two raids and then I start my day and see what I gotta do. And then if stamina caps after that, when I start getting to do other stuff, that's whatever. That's just up to God then. I'm not that try hard on it. There's been a couple times I've like done the little morning routine and then I go out for a couple hours and come back and it's all capped again and it's like, oh shit. But is what it is. Is what it is. Also, speaking of gacha games, I am kind of surprised at how high the rating for that Kaiju number 8 gacha game is. It's like a 4.7 still. Which is surprising considering that a lot of other gacha games I've seen, like for instance the horse game, the rating keeps going like up and down. Not addicted, he says. Gonna look. I'm not addicted because there's no. I mean, to be honest, if I was actually addicted, no. You want to know when I was super addicted to gacha games was when I used to play Dragon Blaze. Because Dragon Blaze, I would have my entire schedule spreadsheeted out so that I wouldn't like overcap stamina. And I would be able to like do things like in a proper tempo. And then I would have like my phone hooked up at night so that I could have it grinding through the night and then like do my other raids and stuff that were on a different timer. That's addiction. Waking up and like, some people wake up and check Twitter. I wake up and I burn some energy on my gacha games. Basically the same thing. See you on TV, son. Also, if I was actually addicted, oh Lord, I don't know how many times, like in the last couple of days, like in the last like week or so, I'll sit down to do like Mirror Dungeon, right, which takes like about like an hour. So granted, you can stop Mirror Dungeon whenever. Like it's not like Limbus isn't an action game, right? It's like a turn-based game, and there's no timer. So it's not like Granblue where you have like a timer on the raid to finish it, so you can't just like walk away from it indefinitely when something comes up. Though at that point you just open it, and then with the new auto backup request system, you just turn that shit on and hope people kill it while you go off to do things. But well, like for instance, yesterday going to the storage was completely unplanned. I had yesterday all planned out because it was like Sunday move two fridges, Monday rest, Tuesday move two stoves, Thursday profit. Then on Monday I went to the storage and I moved a bunch of shit into the house, and then I had to move stuff out of the basement. Completely unplanned. Did I throw a hissy fit because remember my gotcha plans? No, I went, oh, fuck it, whatever. Just went and did shit. And then I had some other stuff pop up. I had someone asking who asked me to help them see if they could find like an answer to their question and stuff. So that was like the other free time I had gotten was just eaten up by that, which I didn't really mind. But not even dinner. I didn't mind at all. It was interesting. I learned a bunch too. But it was just my entire plans for yesterday just got completely derailed. That's how you know it's not an addiction, when you can walk away from it. I've seen a guy be so addicted to a gotcha game that one that you could pause, like the combat. I forget what game it was. And he was so addicted that like if you went up to talk to him, he would literally just blow up in your face and just start cussing you out for how dare you interrupt him and shit like that. I'm like, dude, it's a game. Calm down. Like, and this was like a fully grown man. I'm not talking about like a high schooler. This was a fully grown man who was like in his, I think he was like a year off from finishing his master's degree. Like he'd been around the block a couple times. And the point is like it wasn't even a case of like, oh well maybe he just didn't have a lot of time to to play gotcha. So you know, that's like his time now. He had plenty of other time. That's just the type he was, where it was just like, I've got my phone in my hand, don't talk to me. He's like, well motherfucker, this is a group project, so I'm gonna talk to you if I feel like it. This is also why I hate group projects. That's another reason I want to go back to school. I hate group projects. I know it kind of depends, like it differs from field to field and stuff. But I can tell you, as someone who's done like odd jobs over the years when I was like in university to make ends meet, and then like when I was working in my last job like a while ago now. Did I work as a in a group? Yeah. Was it the same experience as doing group projects in like school? Hell no. It was just a case of, all right, everybody has their thing, do their stuff. If you have problems, you know, communicate and stuff like that. To be fair, it was also just because usually I was not the problem person in the groups. I was usually the one cleaning up the problem, which is probably one of the reasons I don't like group projects. Forced to toxic work with people with a grade on the line. Yeah. That was one of the reasons I really liked the program I was doing for my associate's degree for computers. The instructors, like the class size was small enough that when the instructors would do a group project, they could pay attention more or less to like the individual input of what was going on, and they would slightly alter the grades within different people in the same like project. So I was able to walk out with like A's, and then other people would get like B's or C's. Because usually a lot of the projects, it was like I was relatively hands on. There was one time we were like one of the things was we were putting together like a Linux server, like a little small one, and most of my group was pretty like lost in space and trying to figure out how to get it together. And like it was the first time I'd ever done it, but I was just like, oh, I do this, do a couple of these things, bada bing, bada boom, Mr. Worldwide, boom, done, easy peasy lemon squeezy. So there'd be a couple times where like one or two of us would get like higher grades than everybody else because my or the instructors were paying attention, which I was very appreciative of. And then there was an and then that leads to another class when I was taking for like tech security stuff where we had a presentation that everybody was supposed to have their own like basically the it was like we would do the presentation stuff outside of class, but the way he had it set up is it was like, all right, you have to hand in a piece of paper that would specify who was doing what part of the project. So that way, if someone slacked on their part, well, they would get a couple points taken off that, would affect your section of the score, but not like everybody else's too much. Like it'd still over like affect the overall presentation, but so it still would kind of like tank like scores down a little bit. But it wouldn't be as bad as if like someone slacked and then everybody fails kind of shenanigans. Which basically, long story short, our presentation, our third person didn't show up. And we had all been like on the emails, been like, all right, everybody good for tomorrow, this, and that, blah, 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 whatever, whatever. He's like, don't, like, if someone has something, say something now so we can, cause like, you could like be flexible, right? He even told us that if someone wasn't going to be there, then as long as we have the information and we can do this, like, whoever was there could present, then we wouldn't lose points. But if none of us knew what the other person did, then we would lose points because we wouldn't be able to finish the entire presentation. And so, guy didn't say anything. He sent back like in the email, being like, "Yeah, I'll be there." Nothing going on. Yeah, he didn't show up. He didn't show up, and oh my god, like I don't know why, because I was the person who kind of like split the like the workload up. Like I was like, all right, I'll take this because I took like the hardest part, and then another person who I had worked in a like a pairing earlier in the semester, I knew was really good, and I was like, do you want to do that? And she was like, yeah. And then so like the last part was kind of like the easier stuff, that you know we didn't know what the like what all he had written up, but I like we had his presentation because he emailed the slides at least when we were just like, all right, we're putting the stuff together, and I just like speed read the thing, and then I just basically had to work off of that, and the partner I had who was there who we had worked together before was like also pretty quick on the uptake, so we were able to salvage our grid. And then from what I heard, that guy got chewed out because apparently when he showed up like later, like later on in the week, because he had another class with that instructor, he didn't have like a good reason for not being there. He got like chewed out because our instructor was a retired military guy, which not too old because it's kind of funny because like retired military, the image people have is like really old, white hair, that kind of stuff. But to be honest, you can be pretty young and be retired military. If you go into the military at like 18, 19, like 18 through 20, you could be retired military by 40, which honestly is really, in the grand scheme of how long people live nowadays, isn't really that old. All right, that's the last one. Let's see where we're sitting at. 8:10. Fuck, we're just shy of. I said we were gonna do. How much is that? I think that's like what, 13 more runs? 12, 13 more goes? Because I get like just shy of 1 mil. Wait, actually, how does this team do again? Or no, not this team. Whatever team we have for this, yeah. I forget how much honors we get from 100. Because I want to get 200 mil today. But yeah, I'm not overly a fan of group projects, personally. I do think, because like again, it kind of depends on the field. There's definitely fields of work where you have to work together more often and certain positions and stuff like that. But as somebody who's not like too keen on those types of jobs is kind of not a big deal for me. 2.6. All right, so I just have to do like six of them tops because that's like what? Oh no, probably just five. Yeah, because it's what 13, 210. No, something like that. Yeah, 5.2, 5.4. Yeah, it's like 12.6. No, my math's off. Why is my math off on that? No, it's 13. Why was my math off when I did it the addition way? Oh, because I'm not mathing it right. My brain's dead. I'm adding like point 0.2 instead of point 0.6. Bro. Yeah, so five. Should be fine. It's like five turns. Like five with five turns takes less time than the other one. Because the other one would have been, because it's not even half as many points. And the other one takes like three turns. It's like this takes like what, five, six turns? I don't fucking remember. It's probably still faster. We're just gonna let it run. Tomorrow, what do you say? I'm gone. I'm gone. I'm gone. Yeah, my brain is like way too dead to be trying to do decimal math. Like, I second guessed my math so hard that because I'm so tired. My bed calls to me, but that's a lie because I'm probably just gonna fire up Limbus Company and do some shit in that first. All right, so it's like six turns. It's like technically twice as long, but doesn't take. But we get more than double the points. We almost get like three times the points. So yeah, we'll do this five times and roll with it. Just into your bed, go to sleep, and just like you can't tell me what to do. Not in my house. I don't want to hear it from a dirty devotion enjoyer. That's right. I said it. I said it. I said it and I stand on business about it. Yeah, you're about to be banned. Oh, I forgot to turn the field effect on, bro. Just make the field effects fucking. Make the field effects full audible. My brain. Shit. Yeah, part a bunch of that stuff and all this crap up. Some kind of pain. Easily enough. Forgetting the field effect didn't actually cut that much damage off, but they still took 6 times. Both sides of your pillow are warm and your blankets and sheets make you itchy. But the blankets and sheets will never make me itchy. I wash my sheets on the regular. But my pillow's always warm on both sides because I produce a lot of heat. So that really isn't much of a curse on me. That's just every other day, honestly. It was always really funny because what was it? I remember there was like an article once that would like I read popular on the internet where it was just like the amount of pillows you sleep with denoted like your like mental health or something like that. Basically, like the gist of it was like the more pillows you slept with, the like lonelier you were. Meanwhile, I'm over here. I'm like, dog. I sleep with multiple pillows because they get too fucking hot. So I throw one off the bed and I grab the next one. That's it. I guess part of it is the I don't know. I don't know. I don't think it takes into account like people that throw excess pillows off the bed and get out of the way to get a cooler one dragged over. I need them to make like a cooling body pillow that actually works. I've seen some of them, But even just like holding it with my hand for a little bit, like I could tell that it just won't work enough. It won't work enough. I think this is what, three? So we do two more, we should be done. I still can't believe there's people that have the audacity to do a full auto like video, right? Like they'll upload a video and be like full auto, and then it's like full auto but with refreshing. I'm like, that's not full auto. Full auto means I can walk away from my computer and not give two shits about it. The first time I saw one of those videos popped up, I was so mad. I was like, the fuck you mean? Wait, actually, now that I'm looking at dollar, what Zodiac is due for uncap next? Who came after Sadala? Is this the water dragon? No. Was it rabbit? What was after the year? Yeah, rabbit? Yeah. Oh geez. Makura uncap. Speaking of a cactus, I don't know what the hell they could do for an uncap and not make her busted. Makura's uncap is about to be disgusting or very underwhelming. Same thing with the dragon, actually. Indala's like uncap is like it's like low hanging fruit for them to make a really good uncap. They could literally just negate it where you don't need an external battery for her to maintain her buff while using all of her skills. They do that, and that's already a W. But like between rabbit and dragon, like those kits are so strong. What would you do to them that wouldn't just make them more absurdly broken? What are you gonna do? Remove the lockout from Ogieing for the dragon so she could just permanently double strike? Like in Ogie comps and shit? Like what Like what would you even do on the dragon? The rabbit would definitely have to be something with like the whole buffs and move things back kind of thing. Probably just give her more of that, I'm imagining. Honestly, I'm about to just put Magissa on this team. I want to, but the problem is Magissa's like buff is too inconsistent. It's like RNG when she'll give you the Ogi bar, and when she doesn't from the revitalize. Though actually, with Fediel's field effect up and Lich, it actually might push the damage a little bit just because of the. We'll try it. I'll try it next turn, even though next one's like the last one, but we'll see. It's also just because like I don't have to wait for Indala to cast her skill 4 times. Also, the real question is, are we going to see Crollo setups for 200 or no? Because I feel like we would have seen a couple Crollo setups for the 100, but it's also just a case I don't think you really need him yet. Granted, what would you use in Dark where Crollo would like work over just doing death shenanigans? How goes the grind? After not this one, but the next one, I'll be at 200 mil. So for me, it goes fantastic because it's pretty rare for me to be on set for being 200 mil already. And so far we're not getting like shit stomped in tier A, so we're neck and neck at the moment, so we might still lose, but it's not as bad as I was expecting. But welcome in, Eris. How is your grind going? How are you? Have you re met your goals? Won the games? But yeah, I think I'm on track to at least get not completely, but probably a little bit off of halfway through stage two, so I should be able to get it next Guild Wars. And then I can start the perpetual grind of 30 million Guild Wars later. I'll get stage three. I wonder if they'll ever like consider allowing like Dread Barrage to give you like less, like much less, but like at least give you something towards the skins. If they do that, I don't expect them to do it anytime soon. But it would be kind of interesting if they did. Just to kind of help people like me who like our sanity. Too bad. I had time to really sit and pay attention to it. We got your times down pretty decent. What you have? Nice, nice. That'd be nice. Yeah. Like to be fair, with the celestial cores, like Dreadbroj actually has value now because you can let do your token boxes for the celestial cores and then do Dreadbroj tickets for getting the weapons, which is really nice. But so it'd be kind of nice if they kind of like, gave you some points from it too. Or at least like maybe like a mission, right? Or something. I don't know how it would work on the coding side of things, but just have like a mission that if you kill like I don't know, 200 like of the mobs, you can well, maybe not like 200, but like 100, 75, 100, maybe it gives you like I don't know, a little bit some I don't know, they could do something. It's kind of just tie it together a little bit more. And then if they could like do all of that and then add on the ability to just like I don't know, have a horde mode for Dread Barrage. Well, not as well, actually, no, I don't think Dread Barrage needs a horde mode. I think Dread Barrage literally just needs the ability to be able to tell the game that hey, run 10 of these in a row without any sort of like manual input. Wait, did I really get? Oh, I got Summer Magissa before I got Fediel. Interesting. I thought it was the other way around. Oh, wait, hold up. We got to do the thing. We must match. Heh. It would be nice, but a dream. I feel like with horde mode being a thing, I think it's feasible. I think it might be an eventuality. Honestly, I can believe in it for at least like very specific things, like Dread Barrage, like for events that don't happen very often. I feel like it's feasible. Dread Barrage, Rise of the Beast could honestly use a horde mode. In all honesty, I don't know how it would work for every like if it would be like a horde mode for each individual element, or it would just be like a kind of like semi unaspected fight, and then you would just churn through it. Uh, and go for and it'll just give you a little bit of like everything as you're going through. They'd have to like figure that out on their side, but it'd be kind of nice. It's doable at least. Yeah, the only thing is I don't know how restrictive being like a browser-based game would be for something like that. Because I feel like on paper, something like Horde mode seems easy and a no-brainer, right? Because we have multiple stage quests already. But I don't think it took them this long to do it simply because they didn't want to or didn't think about it. I think there was like probably some limitations between the servers and stuff. They definitely wouldn't have been able to do it before the HTTP upgrade. That's for sure. That would have like burned the server to the ground. On Guild Wars, having so many people do horde mode plus the people who are just like slamming the crap out of it. Yeah, no, that just yeah, that's not gonna happen. But I think it's probably a mix of however they designed the send and receive system. Uh, Plus it being like a browser game might cause some restrictions that we're not aware of. Because like for instance, something as nifty as the repeat backup request feature, so that way you don't have to constantly remember to push the button. You do have to remember to turn it off though, so that doesn't just if you don't want it to just automatically go off when you start the raid. Like something like that seems again really easy on paper, but I'm sure there's a reason why they didn't implement it until more recently. Though speaking about that feature, I would very much like if they could add a like the option to have it go off at like 50% HP, like on the raid. It would honestly be like great if you could all like at least go by like the quarter percentages at like 75. You could have it start at 100%, 75%, or 50% or 25% HP remaining on the raid would be nice, but it's also not that big of a deal in the long run. And things weird. Coding can be pretty complicated sometimes when things pile up. Yeah, yeah. Especially because the way it would handle the like the handshakes of requests back and forth is definitely a lot different than if it was in its own standalone app because of all the protocols it has to jump through. Super handy purely for bugs at 50, being an easy situation once you use it in. Yeah. Well, because like to be honest, it's just plenty of situations, right? Like if you're grinding Magna threes and you just want to make sure you MVP, right? And you have a full auto team, 50% easy. Bubs 50% easy. Like there's so many raids where like that would at the very least 50% would be such a nice option, especially with like setups and stuff nowadays. That it'd be a nice little quality of life. Though if I had to choose between that and them like releasing new content and stuff like that, then obviously I'd rather they'd focus on the new content. But like I'm pretty sure there's a lot of things they want to do because part of it is also like limitations of what you have and then also limitations of just internal, management. It's like, do we divert resources to work on this one thing, or do we push out like six new characters that could make us money and like four new costumes? We want that money. I mean, they do good work though. Grand Blue is definitely one of those games where they do a lot of good quality of life updates. That's why I think like it's not 100% fair when people give them a bit of a bashing with them pushing out like the pass and all the new like purchase things. Oh, they're no, I think we're a little further ahead now. Because they do good work in getting things set up. Yeah, we're at 202. We have 26 boxes. I don't think we didn't have a celestial weapon sneak in. At least not that I know of, because I don't think my weapon inventory is full. Yeah, no, we have slots open. Oh, productive. Tired, but productive. I also need to do this because I have been neglecting this and I need my sands. And it's definitely not because of other gotcha games. It's definitely because, I've been doing stuff. Could you imagine if one day they just let you get the Hexa Dragon material from this? Oh, we got Joy. But I want the shield. I want to get all the weapons. All the gear. Definitely, definitely. It's definitely not because I was spending like an hour today ramming my head against Kanto 448, trying to beat it. Definitely wasn't because of that. That'd be nice. Yeah. If they do that, yeah, that they'll do that when it's like so outdated. We'll be on like a different set of dragon weapons by the time that happens. Actually, have they added anything to the folio pages I care about personally? Bahamut, no, 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 no. I think the only one. No, they haven't really had anything. This is like the only one that I have any interest in getting. Is the fifth uncap set, just because of the bars. And even then, I think you need like a couple of them. Well, I have a couple built up from the stuff. Yeah, we have 10 of them. I need to uncap another Baja weapon. Kind of painful if you don't have that. The worst part, like the part that like annoyed me with 448 wasn't really that part because I think I have like a solid enough team because I have the new Yi Sang. I have Thumb Mersault. I have Thumb Sinclair, but I don't have the tickets to level him up, so I was using the one who grips. Uh I was using La Mancha Dawn, but that's just because I didn't have like another good 000. And then I was borrowing from BO's company because I didn't really have like any other good IDs besides those. So I was like messing around with other good ones. But the issue kept coming is that Yi Sang and Mercel kept like just randomly deciding to roll tails on their clashes when they should have been like rolling heads. And they would just fail the AoE clashes and they would just go downhill from there. And then I had a really good run, and then Marcel went into the dueling, and like the timing was like so on point that you couldn't do it any better. Where Thumb Marcel was going into his like amped up mode, going into the dueling. So I'm like, this should be easy. And then he would just roll fucking tails on everything and just lose the duel on the second go. And I'm like, why you do this to me? You're supposed to have so much like coin power in this mode, and you're just like failing me. But then I got it, so then it's fine. Well, I got it because what is it? I luckily my friend had Molar Ishmael, so I think being able to get like much more stacks of tremor up when I scorched it helped with the damage. So because with Sinclair, there's at least some burn, so it's helping the scorch. Yeah, it was rough. Yeah, sometimes. Oh my god, the amount of times I'll just like run something and I'll just see like 30 SP. I'm like, all right, cool. We should at least hit like two heads on like a four coins, right? Nope, just hits tails on everything. And then the enemy with its two coins will hit with like negative SP would be like heads, 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 heads. And I'm just like, I didn't want to play the game either. That's fine. Muller, yeah. I have a conundrum though, because like my plan had been I got Marceau, and then I got Yi Sang from Extraction. And so my plan had been because Yi Sang's passives are specific to Hong Lu and Ishmael for the air hierarch air, however the fuck you pronounce it, and then the Lord. I was like, all right, realistically, I should go for Hong Lu, but I like Ishmael's like ID, like I think it's cute, so I'm gonna go. I wanted to go for that, so my plan had been go for that with the shards, then try for Hong Lu after, and then try to see if I have enough time after that to get like T Corp Otis because I like her top hat. But then the issue is that the the Volpergeist, or however you pronounce it, comes after the comes after the Arknights collab, apparently, is what people are saying. But they've like apparently they released a schedule or something. And so now I'm like, well crap. I wanted to get Rodian's sync ID from that because that's really good. That and I really like the way the ID looks, and Rodion is like my favorite. So it was just so now I'm like, well, crap. I think because of how long it'll be, I could still probably go for Ishmael and then just save up the shards and then go for Rodion after that for the Walpurgeist, and then after that see whatever I get before. Because I think people were saying we have till like December for the next season, so I think I have enough time to maybe get like two, three more of the shards if I just keep like hard grinding and if the events like keep coming, so I can keep getting more of them. But yeah, we'll just have to see. Because at the end of the day, I think I'd rather prioritize the like the seasonal ones since they get locked out, and then I can just try to go for Rodian's like next Volpergeist in like 30 years when it comes out. Because I do plan, because my general plan is I'm not going to, or whether or not I do throw pulls at the Arknight collab banner, because it's just egos apparently, is depending on how strong they are and whether there's. Well, to be honest, it's mostly just depending on how strong they are. I don't think they'll release the Arknight ego I care about because I haven't played Arknight in years, so I don't really care for any of like the newer characters. So unless there's like an ego that's just like disgustingly broken for Otis, Rodion, Merceau, which are like the three characters I care about, I probably am just gonna skip that banner unless they just give us like specific banner extraction tickets to throw. And then I think I'll just like throw all of my extractions at the Vulper, whatever, to try to get like whatever's new. And because there's a lot of like the IDs on there, like getting the twos, like the 00 Dawn would be huge from that, because that also synergizes really well with the ego from the BP. So yeah, I'd basically have to like spreadsheet out. Not a bad plan, yeah, because I feel like I have like enough right now, like that I can work with. Cause like I think what I'm gonna do is because I don't have like a full tremor setup. What I do have is I have a lot of Liu, uh, the fire section. I have Liu Yu Sang. He was my first 000. I have Merceau, Gregor, and I think Hong Lu's, which are kind of like the weaker ones. White Merceau. Well, actually no, I wouldn't use Merceau because I'm gonna use the thumb for Merceau. But I have like two other of the double O's, and then I have the Sinclair thumb ID. So I think I'm just gonna make like a burn team and just roll with that. It's just the issue is that like, well, I was upgrading the horse because I was expecting to go for that instead. I don't know if I should just stick with the horse just for shits and giggles, but I think I need to start actually like setting up teams. Because I think the horse is just, it'll be better if I can get like at least Ishmael so he doesn't have just a dead passive. Sounds like decent burn. Yeah, because I'd been looking at a couple videos and it's just like, I'd like to do Tremor because, well, Tremor Scorch and stuff like that, but I think without having at least like T-Core Dawn and Molar Otis, which I don't plan on dispensing anytime soon because there's still stuff I want from this season, uh, Tremor's kind of rough to build. And then I don't have like any of the egos. Like I don't have Capote or anything like that. Burn seems a bit more in hand because I have more units for it than I do for Tremor. Unless I feel like running N Corp Dawn, which I don't. It's nice, especially being pretty beefy with the shield. Tremor with concussion. Yeah. The only issue is that like with the horse is I'm also running my other main like damage dealer is Mao Otis. And the issue is that like if Deathrite is on the enemy, he doesn't apply concussion. So they're kind of like canceling each other out sometimes. Which to be fair, it's they're the only reason they're on the same team is because they're my strongest IDs at the moment. But yeah, I think I'm just gonna go like swap to like a burn setup because I have the two thumb characters. I have Yi Sang, and then I have a couple other burn characters that I can run with it, and then just go off of that. It'll kind of depend. It'll see how we go. Because the thing is, I can go Tremor easier if I just go Honglu next. Because the horse lets Honglu Tremor burst for free without consuming count on all of his skills, which is kind of fucking gross, honestly. I don't know. That'll be that'll be more workshopping when we do our Limbus Company days. Because I think like Fridays are probably just gonna end up being like Limbus Company slash Gotcha days. But right now it's mostly just I just need to like build things because I also because there's also well no because I'm Sinclair. Fuck. I like all of my IDs right now are I have three triple O IDs for Sinclair and three triple O IDs for Yisang. Because that's just how it went. So it's kind of rough. I don't know. They didn't spread out more. My luck was a little too focused, and it wasn't on any of the characters I like. But uh, but yeah, I'm so tired. But that is going to be it for the Guild Wars grind. We hit the 200. We hit the 200 million. So we are gonna call it for the night. I think I'm just gonna. I was gonna like raid somebody, but I am like so brain dead. I don't even know how to look at my. Just looking at all the names on Twitch right now is giving me a headache. So that'll be it. Uh, if it's starting the day for you, have a good day. If it was a day for you as well. Stay safe, stay hydrated. If you're grinding Guild Wars, good luck. Hopefully you get all your celestial weapons and your skin stages. And I will see you all tomorrow. Well, later today, but tomorrow. Bye bye.